With the majority of their family and friends present, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker recently celebrated their marriage in Portofino, Italy. Scott Disick, Kourtney's ex, missed the event since he spent the weekend in New York with some buddies. Evidently, he required the assistance. Disick is struggling with a significant change in his ex-life girlfriends, a source told Entertainment Tonight. They stated Scott has been struggling with Kourtney and Travis's union, but he's doing as well as he can be. He is conflicted since he loves Courtney but yet understands that she is content. He claimed that following the breakup of their 10-year relationship, which ended in 2015, Disick is very sorry for how he abused Courtney. Courtney's wedding in Italy included 3 children she shared with Disick: Mason 12, Penelope 9, and Raj 7. Kourtney Kardashian's connection with Travis Barker and the suffering it has brought Scott Disick, her ex-boyfriend, and the father of her child have been central story points into Kardashians, the family's new Hulu reality series. However, in the show's most recent episode, Kardashian lamented to her friend Steph Shepard that the show's editing is misleading because the Disick controversy is much more insignificant in her life. American media personality, socialite, and model Kourtney Mary Kardashian. She and her family started appearing in the reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians in 2007. Because of its popularity, spin-offs like Courtney and Khloe Take Miami, Courtney and Kim Take New York were made. Kardashian works in the retail and fashion industries with her sisters, Kim and Khloe. They have introduced numerous apparel lines and fragrances, and in 2010, they also published the book Kardashian Confidential. At the beginning of 2019, Kourtney launched her own website, Poosh. According to Kourtney Kardashian, she wasn't pleased with how her engagement to Travis Barker was portrayed on her family's Hulu reality series, The Kardashians. If you missed it, Travis proposed to Courtney on the beach in episode 4 of the season, and the two celebrated their new status in Santa Barbara with their loved ones. Unfortunately for Court, her ex-boyfriend Scott Disick came after her family, which included sisters Kim, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie, to steal the show on the big night, who grew wary of his reaction to the news. For some background, Scott and Courtney dated for almost 10 years, but their turbulent union, which was perpetually upended by his substance addiction and adultery issues, finally ended in 2015. Nevertheless, despite their troubled past, the couple has remained close friends and co-parents of their 3 kids, Mason 12, Penelope 9, and Raj 7. With Scott continuing to be a very close friend of the Kardashians over the years. Since their breakup, Scott hasn't been in a relationship as committed as his, and in fact, he told her just last year that he was prepared to marry her in the proper way and that he loved her. Naturally, Court started seeing Travis in October 2020, and they quickly became engaged a year later. Scott and his and Courtney's children were not present for the proposal. Kris Jenner explained that she felt the 3 were too young to attend for a variety of reasons, including the fact that it occurred on a Sunday evening. It didn't take long for Court's sisters to start wondering how Scott would react to the news during the big night, though. After Kendall confronted Court and questioned her about her empathy for Scott, the 5 women appeared to have a lengthy conversation regarding Scott's feelings. In fact, the sisters were unable to quickly move on from the conversation regarding Scott until Kim defended Court. "Guys, are we so insane that we are discussing it right now?" she asked. "Can we discuss this tomorrow and let them enjoy their time out here?" And now, in the most recent episode of the program, Court has disclosed that she and Travis were very irritated with the Kardashians' editors for their choice to overshadow this significant engagement with a video centered about Scott. While she and Travis enjoyed the best time ever while filming for the program, Court admits during a candid talk with her close friend, Stephanie Shepard, aka Steph Shep, that they're not thrilled with the show's direction and that they are unhappy with the narrative that's unfolded surrounding Scott and his reaction to their relationship as it blossoms. After having the most fun ever while filming, she says, "We've been watching the cuts and we're just so irritated because they're spinning us in with this drama." Court tells Tough that she is referring to Scott, specifically adding, especially when I saw my engagement episode, editors or other people are interpreting it as let's take Kourtney. She has been selected to embody the drama. Then in a confessional, Kourtney says that the events of the engagement night weren't nearly as dramatic as they appeared, criticizing the editors for including the Scott-centered plot. It's time for a show to catch up, and I'm at one of the finest places I've ever been in my life, she adds. She says, that night I didn't think, God, everyone's such a fucking jerk for bringing up Scott, because it didn't take place throughout the night. Like 2 seconds of the night passed until I watched the episode's cut. I had completely forgotten about it. She claims that by doing so, people are supporting this old narrative and buying into something that simply doesn't exist. It ought to be a motivating episode about me leaving unhealthy relationships and actually experiencing the fairy tale romance that is my reality. It wasn't 50% of the night like it was depicted in the program. Kourtney continues, clearly upset. I wish they would remove that and include it in the upcoming episode so they could show us some respect. Allow us to have this moment. Court adds that she doesn't want to be insensitive to the situation, but she can't help but wonder why the production team chose to portray her and Travis's engagement in a depressing light rather than empowering and celebrating it. This is especially surprising given that the problematic aspects of her and Scott's relationship served as a major plot point for years on her family's former reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Court quotes stuff and asks, how could this be interpreted negatively? Why isn't everyone empowering my and celebrating that I've done all this work for years and now have this relationship that I deserve? Something healthy? Steph responds, I would surely be asking those same things if I were someone watching the show. Oh shit, what will Scott say? That's a common thought. I realize that. Steph continues, I don't want to dwell on this subject anymore out of respect for Travis and for being able to emerge out of that position in your life like it's finished. According to Kardashian in a confessional, the way the episode was edited enables this old narrative and buys into something that doesn't really exist. It should be an inspirational episode about me leaving unhealthy relationships and truly experiencing the fairy tale love story that is my reality, she continued. Kardashian said to Shepard, I wish they would take that out and put it in the next episode. Give us our respect and let us have our moment, especially with the Disick thing. Why isn't the fairy tale being told, I wonder? How on earth could this be seen negatively? She and Disick have been apart for 7 years, so she's free to create new memories and new ways of doing things and being, she continued. All of this occurred only a few months after Kourtney criticized the Hulu show's predecessor, KUWTK, for casting a negative light on her identity and unintentionally turning her into a character on camera. If you watch, you'd be aware that Court developed a solid reputation on Keeping Up with the Kardashians as the moody sibling with a reputation for being reckless. Her participation in the show's production or lack thereof became a major point of dispute between herself and her sisters, which finally led to an infamous altercation between herself and Kim back in 2020. Court disclosed that KUWTK was definitely edited so as to depict her as hesitant and moody earlier this year when reflecting on the protracted rivalry. I had the impression that I was playing a character. We're going to edit out the laughter and let's just utilize the annoying thing that she said because this is Kourtney and she's in a terrible mood, the reality star stated to Bustle. Shooting her program turned out to be a really poisonous situation for me in the end, she continued. My sisters and I would argue, just a lot of things were happening. I wasn't in the happiest place either, even for myself. The Kardashians' most recent episode is available on Hulu or Disney Plus in other countries. On June 15th, the following episode will air. Until then, let us keep guessing. Stay tuned for yet another exciting video coming up soon. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Ciao!